concern about us not getting these 19 done. The other thing, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do this, but if you looked on the DEP payment thing, they added $37,000 as a contingency fee. I asked one of the bookkeepers at the DEP, what does this mean in terms of our ability to access that? And they said their thought was, of course this is the first time they've done these green projects, that since they budgeted this amount of money, we're supposed to spend this amount of money. And they think that as we wind down the project, there may be a chance that we could take the $37,000 and put in one or more systems with it. So it could be that instead of 19 systems, we end up putting 20 or 21 systems in, as long as we have enough money to do that. So that's pretty good. The other thing that I think is going to happen is that the construction budget is not going to change, but I think some of the other budget items are, because we were just sort of...
We put the same systems in all the places.
All the systems are going to be the same in terms of the who makes it and the technology. Some will have a little longer pipe here and more features.
Yeah, I still worry about long-term maintenance. How has that committee transpired? And last time I was over there, it was just in the
Yeah. We have a committee made up of community people who've been meeting twice a month. Where we are in the process is sort of, we haven't gotten to the money numbers yet. What we've done is we've talked about, okay, if we set up this community organization, how can I as a homeowner get involved and what happens if I don't pay my monthly fee, and how do we deal with any kind of breakdowns and stuff. They're dealing with that, and I think they pretty well worked that through at the last community meeting on the 8th. He presented those ideas to the community. People were pretty good with that. I think the next step is to actually go back and say, okay, the recommendation of the committee is an $8 a month fee and a 45, 60 co-payment, 60, 40 or something. And that we would actually have this drawn up, and if the community's okay with that, then we go through the process of formally incorporating and getting a tax exempt status, and then taking the leftover money from the EPA project, which is not federal money, it's all match that's been raised locally, and setting up an actual fund that the community organization would administer. So we're moving toward it. At this point, everybody with the direct discharge systems is either still covered. There was a 2-year coverage when the system went in. They're either still covered by the 2-year, or they have a signed contract with the provider to continue the coverage.
I'm so glad, because all the work that you and the people there put into this project, I would hate to see 2 to 3 years down the road when the money is gone.
Yep. So the hope is that this will work out, and at least maybe for 5 years, maybe for 7 years, we'd have enough money in the fund to pretty much take care of any kind of problem.
And the successful bidder really was the only bidder that qualified.
Yes.
Am I right?
That's right. We had 6 firms that went out for the pre-bid. In the end, only 2 of the 6 bid, and 1 of the 2 didn't fill out the paperwork correctly. So according to the DEP's law, they weren't eligible. So we only really had 1 person.
And this being federal money, we either have to be union or prevailing wage.
Correct.
And so we just had 1 contractor, so
Just had the 1
and it
contract.
was non-union, but prevailing
But
wage.
he's paying prevailing wage, right?
It was
And
a local company.
it was a local company, and I don't think that would have happened if the commission hadn't gone, we hadn't taken, what, 6 or 7 of us. Charles was there, Jackie was there, Josh Dowers was there, somebody from Ray Hall's office was there, and actually sat down with the DEP and said, wait a second, we don't think this is the correct way to do this bidding process. And they finally said, okay, all right, you guys are going to be responsible, you go ahead and do it, so that we could create a bidding procedure that allowed local mom and pop companies to be part of it. Because they were gonna require, it would have ended up, that whoever got the bid would have had to put up $205% of their bid. They would have had to put that up as sureties. So there's just no way that anybody locally could have done it. And I think it was good that we had a local person who'd already been involved in the process, who had relationships with, you know, folks and who knew the technology and knew the companies. So I hope it's going to work out fine. Okay, thank you.
Next thing on the agenda is the Duval Volunteer Fire Department Commissioners at the last meeting. We had received a letter from the Duval Volunteer